Hey, good morning. It's Sunday morning. Kind of cold and rainy outside, so being the Shade Tree Forge, and most of the time I'm forging under a shade tree outdoors somewhere. We're not doing any forging today, but we do have, well, tool-related content for today's video. We have, I'll show you my fullering tools. Okay. This right here, I'm sure you've probably all seen it on eBay. This was $69.50 for this gizmo, and it's fairly simple. Since I don't have the capacity to make my own tools yet, I search for bargain price tools, and this is a simple guillotine. Paid $69.50 for this thing. And if you look on eBay, some of the G2 versions, which I'll get to that in a moment, but we have here, it's 1/2" cold rolled steel. This die came with it just like this. As you can see, the top is crowned, the working edge is radiused, like so. The bottom die, as finished, just like so. The frame is quite simple. 2 pieces, appears to be 1x1 angle iron for the feet. We have 2, looks like 1/8" thick steel frames, and it's just basically a giant rectangle with a rectangle shaped hole cut in it. For spacers, there's 1/2" by 1" steel bars in there. These are the spacers for the frame. Now, the unique thing about this, if you notice, well, 2 of these, the extra bolt threads are taken up by the angle iron here, but if I were to put longer bolts in, as you can see here, these longer bolts, if I disassemble this and I get 2 pieces of 3/4 by 1" and drill it the same, I can now insert 3/4 by 2" wide stock in here and make a different radius fuller tool, or a butcher tool possibly. But that's that one. Now, for that $69.50, not only do you get, pardon me for being out of frame, okay, it comes with 3 sets of dies. So here I have 2 more bottom dies that can be machined or ground to any configuration I want. We have here 2 more 1/2 by 2" cold rolled. As you can tell by the smooth texture on the pieces. A little bit of light surface rust from sitting around the house, but for $69.50, what a deal. Now, on to the star of the project. Excuse me. Now, the star of the project, or I should say the video. This monster, yes, this is a G2 guillotine, or I should say G2 style guillotine fullering tool. Now, if you notice, these tools in here were custom made. Now, as being a member of the Western Reserve Artist Blacksmiths Association, we recently had a tool workshop for $65 in materials. Yeah, I saved $4.50 over the cost of the other one, but it was a combined effort by 20 other members in our club to make this thing. It comes with a 1" party on a, appears to be a 4" by 4" steel base, 1/2" thick. And as you can see, the side frames are quite beefy. These look to be about I'd say 1/2 inch thick steel. And of course my job was to take the belt sander and deburr every piece you see on here. So times 20 of these tools. Every piece you see here I had to do, 20 of these top plates here, 40 side frames, everything you see here. Now this one is convertible to 3/4 inch as well. The only problem is I have the spacers laying on my workbench around the corner, which you can probably see over my shoulder there where my ring adjuster is. Yeah, I'm starting to dabble in spoon rings and coin rings. It's something to keep me busy when I'm not outside foraging. But anyways, as you can see, these fullering tools are different. These are huge roller bearings out of an old roller bearing. They're 52-100. They've been annealed. They're heliarched on there. And while the top one I have to, well, actually I can't get the bottom out too. I have to remove. The only downside is when I have these in here, I have 8 screws to remove before I can put the regular 1/2 by 2 inch dies in there. Which it came with one piece of steel. That's for die steel. That's this baby right here. So needless to say, I cut a portion of it off. Had the guy that was doing all the welding heliarch this on, and of course the way this is made, it doesn't come up out of there all the way because I have to take the side plate off. But as you can see, it's heliarched on there, and I can get, it looks like about 1 inch worth of material in between and start pounding. So now that I've used up my piece of 1/2 by 2, and of course this is A36, this is hot rolled. So, you guys go, well, now what are you gonna do since you used up your die stock for this tool? Well, remember these guys? 1/2 by 2? Yeah. Guess what fits the G2 style tool? Drops right in. No shimming, grinding, or nothing required. To convert this to 3/4, I need longer screws, but by the insertion of little spacer plates here and here with longer screws, I can put 3/4 in here. And if you ever seen Roy Adams do an acanthus leaf where he uses his G2 with the 3/4 inch by 2 inch wide butcher dies in there to section off an acanthus leaf, yeah, this is why I got this kind of a tool. Also, it's nice if you versus the other one where you can only go around the shaft on a piece of steel that you put in there. On this, it's rather obvious. You put this in your hardy hole or your vise, and now you can run lengthwise bars of steel through here, as if you hadn't already guessed. So not only that, it makes for easier access. You can actually see what the tool's doing and where it's biting in, whereas with this kind, you can only guess by looking through the front or the back where your tool is biting into your material. Now the original blacksmith's helper like this was, I can't remember the guy's name, but he did the Blacksmith Journal, and he sold a kit which I bought years ago for 90 bucks. Put it together myself, and like a dummy, I had it stored at the club. One of the club members, hey, can I borrow your blacksmith helper? Sure, no problem, as long as I get it back next week. Well, that was umpteen years ago. No blacksmith helper back yet. I don't even know what happened to the club member. I don't think he's with our club anymore. So yeah, I learned a long time ago, don't lend it out. Also, don't leave it there where somebody can, hey, I'm just going to borrow this tool. Because I have another tool which I will do a video on later. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. But it's a square piece of tube that has 4 bending circles on it. It has a latch dog and a pair of pins on it to make bending fork. And what I do with that tool, I use that to make my signature broomstick handles for the club, because we raffle off at our public demonstrations a fireplace broom. Well, we do 6 of those a year, and chances are if you ever win a fireplace broom from one of our auctions, hey, guess what? You got one of my signature handles, and it's really a simple handle. All I do is take a piece of horribly rusted 1/2-inch steel, and I mean, you look at this and it's like, you're gonna make something out of that junk? I go, yep. And what I do is I process it through the power hammer at the club, and what I do is I heat that material up and I lightly dress it. In other words, the hammer comes down just hard enough to lightly flatten the surface, knock out most of the big heavy pits. Of course, I've wire brushed the heck out of this material before it even sees the forge, and then I lightly planish the material through the power hammer, both directions, and then I'll turn it up on a diamond, lightly chamfer it all the way through, and then of course I'll take and turn it around and put it up on the diamond for about, I think it's 1.5 inches that they need, and it's got to be 3/4 wide. And what we do with that is I heat it up and I just floor the power hammer until the power hammer doesn't beat it out anymore, and then we drill 2 holes in that, and that's where the broom squire will tie the broom on. But in the meantime, halfway up the shaft, I will give it either a 1 turn or maybe 1.5 turn twist with the rustic looking material and the light chamfering on it. The twist looks really nice after I brush the scale off. And then of course on the top, I just take and put a loop. And what that tool does, the way I make my loop on top, I will heat, I'll draw out about 4 inches of material. I will then taper it, put the curlicue on the end, reheat it, quench the curlicue, and then I go around the jig that's preset and I will bend it all the way around till it looks like the letter P. And then what I do is I quickly crack the vise loose in a 1/4 turn, stand the jig up, slap it back in, snug it up that 1/4 turn, take the piece, drop it between the 2 pins, and I will pull that piece back just a little bit so that it can hang over a hook on a fireplace rack or a wall hook, or and basically what it looks like is an upside down teardrop with a curlicue, and it has a nice feel to the hand. It can either hang on something or they can lean it up against the fireplace, and it looks really nice. Unfortunately, I don't have a broom to show you. Like I said, that'll come in a later video if I can find one at the club. But I may show a video of the tool and explain how I use it. Well, I've already explained how I use it. I gotta dig through my tool bucket and find it. And then we'll post that video shortly. So, have a great Sunday. I'm not capable of live streaming yet. So, I mean, I've got the camera. I just haven't figured out how to link it to my computer and go on, because I am way low of 1,000 subscribers, so I can't do it on the cell phone. So if I ever do a live stream, it will probably be through my Sony cam and the laptop, and you might see me here in my living room. I'll do like Big Dog Forge does and talk to you that way. Or if I can take it outside on a nice day here at the apartment building. That's right, I live in an apartment. Now, so how do I blacksmith in an apartment? Very carefully. No, actually, I recently acquired, because a tenant moved out, I recently acquired their garage space. Now, the only thing about it is I can set up a workbench. I can set up my backup anvil in timber block. That's no problem. I have a 1-brick gas forge, which I can run off a propane torch. That's not a problem. The problem is there's 8 other units attached to this thing. Yeah, one wayward spark. Yeah, that could be a problem. So I may have to just stick to going to Burton Century Village and doing it that way for a while. Because unless I come into a whole pile of money and I can have a shop all myself somewhere other than here in the garage at my apartment, you know, there won't be much content coming. If I do any content, it'll probably be Tuesday night forges at Burton Century Village, and I guarantee you it'll be noisy because there'll be a whole bunch of other people there learning how to blacksmith. So we'll just have to go see how it goes adding content to this channel as time permits. Until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.